student at Rehan School Online Academy. I'm from Faisalabad and I'm 10 years old. Today my session is ChatGPT. So start the session. So hi ChatGPT.
Hey, Daniel. Not much, just here and ready to chat with you. What's on your mind today?
Okay. So
That sounds interesting. So, you're thinking of a session where we focus on how our mind and behaviors change, with an emphasis
okay.
on keeping things structured, like following protocols and keeping track of notes. Are you aiming to explore some specific areas of mind or behavior change, or just a more general approach?
Okay. So my first question is what is the relationship between behavior and mindset?
Great question. Behavior and mindset are closely linked. Mindset refers to the way we think about things, our beliefs, attitudes, and perspectives. It shapes how we approach challenges and opportunities. Behavior, on the other hand, is how we act based on those thoughts and beliefs. For example, if someone has a growth mindset, believing they can improve with effort, they're more likely to take on challenges and persevere, leading to positive behaviors like persistence and learning. If they have a fixed mindset, they may avoid challenges out of fear of failure, which can result in behaviors like giving up too easily. So, mindset influences behavior, and over time, our behaviors can even shift our mindset. They're like two sides of the same coin. Does that help clarify it?
Yeah, okay. So my next question is how can repeating our behavior eventually change our beliefs?
Repeating behaviors can definitely influence and change our beliefs over time. When we repeatedly act in a certain way, it creates new experiences and reinforces patterns that our brain begins to accept as normal or true. This is especially true if those behaviors lead to positive results or reinforce our goals. For example, if someone practices gratitude every day, even if they don't fully believe in its power at first, the consistent behavior will eventually lead them to see the benefits, like feeling happier or more connected to others. Over time, their belief in the power of gratitude strengthens because they've experienced its positive impact firsthand. Essentially, actions create evidence that can shift our beliefs. It's like the saying, fake it till you make it, but with real results. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay. So my next question is that ChatGPT can behavior shift identify how?
Behavior shift identification is about recognizing changes in how someone acts over time, especially when those actions start to reflect new mindsets or beliefs. In a way, it's a process of observing actions that align more with a person's goals or values as they grow or learn. To identify a behavior shift, we'd look for patterns like 1. Consistency in new actions. Someone consistently tries new habits or approaches, even if they didn't before. 2. Increased effort or persistence. They might put in more effort in areas where they once struggled, showing they believe they can improve. 3. Self reflection. If someone starts asking themselves more thoughtful questions or becomes aware of their actions and their impacts. 4. Positive outcomes. Actions leading to better results or feeling more fulfilled might signal a mindset shift. 5. Emotional responses. If the person reacts differently to challenges or successes, like embracing failure as a learning experience instead of avoiding it. Behavior shifts are often gradual, and recognizing them can be about noticing these small, consistent changes over time. Is there a specific type of behavior shift you're thinking about?
Oh, yeah, okay. So, my next question is, what role does the environment play in influencing our behavior and thoughts?
The environment plays a huge role in shaping both our behavior and thoughts. It's like the backdrop to our lives, influencing how we think, feel, and act. Here are a few ways the environment impacts us. 1. Social influences. The people around us, family, friends, coworkers, affect our behaviors and mindset. For example, being around supportive people can boost our confidence, while negative or toxic environments can lead to stress or self-doubt. 2. Physical space. The places where we spend time can also impact us. A clean, organized space might make us feel calm and productive, while a cluttered or chaotic space can cause stress or distraction. 3. Cultural influences. The culture or community we're part of shapes our values and beliefs. For example, certain cultural norms might encourage collaboration and teamwork, while others might prioritize individual success, influencing how we approach tasks and interact with others. 4. Resources and opportunities. The availability of resources, like books, education, technology, and opportunities, like jobs or social connections, also shapes our behaviors. If we're in an environment rich with learning opportunities, we're more likely to value growth and self-improvement. In short, our environment provides cues and feedback that guide our behaviors and thoughts. It can either reinforce or challenge our beliefs, pushing us to grow, or in some cases, limiting us if it's not supportive. Does that resonate with you?
Okay, so my next question is it easier to change behavior first or mindfulness first?
Great question. It can vary depending on the person and the situation, but generally, it's often easier to start with changing behavior first. When you change your behavior, you create new experiences that can gradually shift your mindset. For example, if you want to build a more positive mindset, starting by doing small positive actions, like practicing gratitude or taking on challenges, can create a cycle where your thoughts start to align with your actions over time. On the flip side, changing your mindset first can sometimes feel harder because it involves shifting deeply held beliefs or attitudes. But once your mindset changes, your behaviors are likely to follow more naturally. So, for some, changing the way they think might be the first step to long-term behavioral change. It's often a mix of both. Small behavior changes can eventually lead to shifts in mindset, and a shift in mindset can make it easier to change your behaviors. What do you think? Would you try changing your behavior or mindset first?
Oh, yeah, okay. So, my next question, how does positive behavior affect mental health and self perceptions?
Positive behavior can have a powerful impact on both mental health and self-perception. When we engage in behaviors that are healthy, supportive, or aligned with our goals, it sends positive signals to our brain, boosting our mood and self-esteem. Here's how it works. 1. Improved mental health. Positive behaviors like exercising, practicing gratitude, or helping others release endorphins, which are chemicals that improve mood and reduce stress. Engaging in these actions regularly can lower anxiety and depression levels, making us feel more balanced and calm. 2. Boosted self-perception. When we act in ways that are aligned with our values or goals, we feel more confident and capable. For example, achieving small goals or sticking to healthy habits reinforces a positive self-image. We start to see ourselves as someone who can make good choices and handle challenges. 3. Increased resilience. Positive behaviors help us cope better with stress. When we have healthy coping mechanisms, like exercising, journaling, or talking to friends, we become more resilient to life's ups and downs. This, in turn, supports better mental health. 4. Greater sense of purpose. Behaving in ways that align with our values or contribute to others can make us feel more purposeful and fulfilled, which boosts our overall well-being. So positive behavior not only helps improve how we feel in the moment, but also builds a foundation for better mental health and a stronger, more positive sense of self over time. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, okay. So, my next question is, can acting confident make a person feel confident over time?
Yes, absolutely. Act can actually help a person feel more confident over time. This is often referred to as the fake it till you make it effect. When you consciously choose to act confident by maintaining good posture, speaking clearly, or taking on challenges, you start to send signals to your brain that you are confident, even if you don't fully feel it yet. Over time, these behaviors create new experiences. As you act confidently, you start to notice that you handle situations better, get positive feedback, and feel more capable. This reinforces the belief that you can handle things, which in turn boosts your real confidence. It's like training a muscle. At first, it might feel awkward, but the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Eventually, you internalize that confidence, and it becomes part of your self perception. Does that idea resonate with you?
Yeah, okay. So, my next question is, how do habits create long term changes in thinking patterns? Six examples of the patterns human changes.
Creating long term changes in thinking patterns takes time and consistency, but it's totally possible with the right approach. Here are 6 common thinking patterns and how you can tune and change them for the better. 1. Negative self talk, e.g., I can't do this. Tune. Challenge negative thoughts by asking, is this really true? Or what's the evidence for this thought? Change. Replace with positive affirmations, like I can handle challenges, or focus on past successes to remind yourself of your abilities. 2. All or nothing thinking, e.g., if I don't succeed completely, I'm a failure. Tune. Break things down into smaller steps, celebrating small wins along the way. Change. Reframe the thought by saying, I'm making progress, even if it's not perfect. 3. Overgeneralization, e.g., I failed this time, so I'll never succeed. Tune. Recognize that one failure doesn't define you. Think of times you've succeeded. Change. Replace with, this is just one moment. I can learn from it and do better next time. 4. Catastrophizing, e.g., if this doesn't go perfectly, everything will fall apart. Tune. Challenge the worst case scenario. Ask, what's the most likely outcome? Change. Replace with more balanced thinking, like, I'm prepared and I can handle whatever happens. 5. Mind reading, e.g., they think I'm not good enough. Tune. Remind yourself that you can't know what others are thinking unless they say it directly. Change. Replace with, I don't know what others think, but I can control my actions and responses. 6. Personalization, e.g., it's my fault that things went wrong. Tune. Ask, what factors contributed to this situation? Recognize external influences. Change. Reframe to, I can learn from this and improve next time, but it's not all my fault. To help create these long-term changes, consistently practice recognizing these patterns when they show up. Over time, with repetition and self-compassion, you can train your brain to think in more positive, balanced ways. Does this approach make sense to you?
Oh, yeah, okay. So, my next question is, what is cognitive dissonance and how does it force the mind to adapt the possibilities?
Contemplative dissonance is a concept that blends the ideas of cognitive dissonance and contemplation. Cognitive dissonance is the mental discomfort we feel when we hold two conflicting beliefs or when our beliefs don't align with our actions. For example, if someone believes in staying healthy but regularly eats junk food, they might experience dissonance because their actions contradict their beliefs. Now, contemplative dissonance is a deeper, reflective form of this discomfort. It occurs when we reflect on the discrepancies between our thoughts, behaviors, or beliefs and begin to question them more profoundly. This discomfort pushes the mind to adapt because the brain wants to resolve the conflict and restore balance or consistency. When faced with contemplative dissonance, the mind is forced to adapt in several ways. 1. Reevaluating beliefs. The mind might change or adjust existing beliefs to resolve the dissonance. For example, someone might start rethinking their view on health after realizing their actions contradict it. 2. Changing behavior. In response to the discomfort, the person might change their behavior to align more with their beliefs, like deciding to adopt healthier habits to resolve the inconsistency between their actions and values. 3. Acceptance of complexity. Sometimes the mind adapts by accepting that life isn't always perfectly aligned. A person might embrace the idea that it's okay to have conflicting beliefs as long as they continue growing and learning. In essence, contemplative dissonance challenges us to confront these conflicts, which forces the mind to either adapt by changing thoughts, behaviors, or by learning to live with the complexity of our ideas. It's a powerful tool for personal growth. Does that help clarify things?
Oh, yeah, okay. So, my next question is, how does social behavior impact our personal
What's your next
beliefs?
question, Dave? I'm ready.
How
Sure.
does social
What would
behavior
you like
impact our
to ask
personal
next?
beliefs? Okay. How does social behavior impact our personal beliefs?
Social behavior can have a significant impact on our personal beliefs because we're constantly influenced by the people around us. From family and friends to social media and larger cultural groups, our interactions shape how we think and feel about ourselves and the world. Here are a few ways social behavior influences personal beliefs. 1. Peer pressure and conformity. Sometimes we adjust our beliefs to fit in with the groups we're part of. If everyone around you believes something strongly, it can be hard to maintain an opposing view, especially if we value social acceptance. Over time, this can shape what we believe or how we express those beliefs. 2. Social norms and values. The values and behaviors promoted by society, such as respect for tradition, individualism, or environmental consciousness, often influence our personal beliefs. We tend to adopt these norms consciously or unconsciously because they're reinforced by the people and communities we interact with. 3. Feedback and validation. When our beliefs align with those around us, we often receive validation or approval, which strengthens those beliefs. On the other hand, if our beliefs clash with the majority, we may adjust our thinking to avoid conflict or to seek social approval. 4. Exposure to different perspectives. On a positive note, social interactions can also challenge and expand our beliefs. Engaging with people from different cultures, backgrounds, or experiences can encourage us to reconsider old beliefs or adopt new ones based on new information. 5. Social media and influence. Social media platforms can amplify certain beliefs, trends, or opinions, influencing the way we think about various content that aligns with or challenges our beliefs can impact how strongly we hold those beliefs or prompt us to question them. In essence, social behavior can push us to either solidify our beliefs or adapt them based on the influence of others. It's a constant dynamic that shapes how we see the world and our place in it. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, okay. So, my next question is, can changing your daily routine influence your values or mindset?
Yes, changing your daily routine can definitely influence your values and mindset. Our routines shape how we think, feel, and behave on a daily basis. So when we adjust them, we can create opportunities for growth and transformation. Here's how changing a routine might affect your mindset and values. 1. Creating new habits. By incorporating new activities or habits into your routine, like exercise, meditation, or reading, you can shift your mindset over time. For example, starting your day with a positive habit like gratitude can lead to a more optimistic mindset, which might eventually influence your core values about life and happiness. 2. Increased self-awareness. Changing a routine can help you become more mindful of your actions and thoughts. When you step out of your usual patterns, you become more aware of what's truly important to you, helping you align your routine with your deeper values. 3. Exposure to new ideas. By changing your daily activities, you might encounter new ideas or perspectives that challenge your current mindset. This could lead you to reevaluate your values and adopt new beliefs. For example, if you start learning something new every day, it might shift how you view personal growth and lifelong learning. 4. Improving mental health. Adjusting your routine to prioritize self-care, such as setting boundaries, reducing stress, or spending more time outdoors, can improve your mental health. Over time, this can shift your mindset toward prioritizing well-being and balance, influencing your values around health and happiness. 5. Increased productivity and focus. If you change your routine to be more structured or goal-oriented, it can help develop a growth mindset. Completing small tasks consistently can boost confidence and lead to a mindset that values progress and effort over perfection. In short, changing your routine can have a powerful ripple effect on how you think about yourself and the world around you. It's a great way to gradually shape your values and mindset in a positive direction. Would you consider changing up your routine to try something new?
Oh yeah, okay. So my next question
That's
is
awesome. Changing things up can bring a fresh perspective. Is
how
there a
does
specific part of your routine you're thinking of adjusting, or maybe trying something new to kickstart the change?
okay. How can AI tools or apps help track and change behavior to rewire to the brain?
AI tools and apps can play a really powerful role in helping change behavior by working with the brain's natural learning processes. They can offer personalized strategies, constant feedback, and insights that encourage and reinforce new habits. Here's how they can help retrain the brain and shift behavior. 1. Personalized feedback. AI apps can analyze your behavior and provide personalized feedback, helping you understand patterns and triggers. For example, fitness apps might track your exercise habits and give you tailored advice or motivation to push through plateaus, reinforcing new, healthier behavior over time. 2. Habit formation. Many apps use behavioral science to help people build new habits. They might send reminders or rewards to keep you motivated. The brain likes consistency and rewards, so these tools use that principle to encourage you to stick with your goals until the behavior becomes automatic. 3. Tracking progress. AI tools can track your progress and show you how far you've come, which boosts motivation. Seeing tangible results helps change the brain's perception of success, reinforcing the idea that change is possible and worth pursuing. This feedback loop makes the brain more willing to stick with new behaviors. 4. Mindfulness and mental health. There are AI apps designed to guide mindfulness and meditation practices. These tools can help reduce stress, improve emotional regulation, and shift negative thinking patterns, ultimately leading to a more positive mindset. By practicing mindfulness regularly, you can reshape neural pathways, which impacts behavior and thought patterns. 5. Behavioral modeling. AI tools like language learning apps often use spaced repetition to help you learn new information. This type of learning method not only aids in mastering a skill, but also helps change the brain's processing and recall. Over time, this can shift how you approach challenges and learning in other areas of life. 6. Encouraging self-reflection. Some apps, especially journaling or goal-setting tools, encourage you to reflect on your thoughts, progress, and feelings. This type of self-reflection can help identify limiting beliefs or negative thought patterns and encourage more positive, growth-oriented ways of thinking. In essence, AI tools use the brain's natural ability to learn, adapt, and form habits to guide you in making long-term behavioral changes. They can act as supportive guides, making the process smoother and more structured. Have you considered using an app or tool to help with any specific behavior change you're working on?
Yeah, okay. So my next question is ChatGPT. What's our mind your new scientifics? How can surfing to break habits and create new ones? Have well self-discipline criticism for changing long-term thinking.
It sounds like you're asking about how new scientific approaches or insights can help break habits and create new ones. and how discipline and criticism play a role in changing the brain's thought patterns. Let's break it down. Breaking habits and creating new ones. Recent research in neuroscience and psychology shows that breaking habits and creating new ones often involves rewiring the brain. Here are some key ways science suggests we can do this. 1. Neuroplasticity. The brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. With consistent effort, the brain can adapt and form new habits. For example, practicing a new behavior repeatedly strengthens the pathways that support it, while the old unwanted habit become weaker over time. 2. Triggering new routines. One strategy is to link a new habit to an existing routine called habit stacking. For example, if you want to drink more water, you can do it right after your morning coffee. This creates a new association in your brain that makes the new habit easier to remember and stick with. 3. Small incremental changes. Rather than trying to change everything at once, focusing on small, manageable steps is more effective. This prevents overwhelm and allows the brain to adjust gradually, reinforcing positive changes over time. 4. Reward systems. Using rewards to reinforce new habits works well because the brain associates positive reinforcement with the behavior, which encourages repetition. This could mean celebrating small wins after sticking to a new habit for a week, for instance. Tash. Discipline and criticism in changing thought patterns. Discipline and criticism are crucial in the process of changing our thinking patterns, but they have different roles. 1. Discipline. Discipline is the ability to stay consistent and follow through, even when it's tough. This consistency is key to rewiring the brain. When you stick to new behaviors or thoughts, even on days when motivation is low, you create stronger connections in the brain, making those new ways of thinking more automatic. Over time, discipline helps replace old, unhelpful habits with new, healthier ones. 2. Criticism. Constructive criticism can be helpful, but it has to be handled in a way that supports growth. Too much self-criticism can be damaging because it might reinforce negative thoughts, which could make it harder to change behavior. However, critical self-reflection, where you honestly evaluate your progress without being overly harsh, can help you identify what's working and what needs improvement. This encourages self-awareness, which is important for making long-lasting changes. How discipline and criticism affect the brain. Discipline strengthens the brain's prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for self-control and decision-making. By exercising discipline, you literally build the brain's ability to control impulses and focus on long-term goals. Criticism, if balanced and constructive, can encourage the brain to leading to better decision-making and growth. However, if criticism is overly harsh, it can activate stress responses that hinder the brain's ability to change. In short, to break habits and create new ones, it's about consistency, discipline, and the way we reflect on and adjust our behavior, constructive criticism. The process involves reshaping the brain's wiring through repeated action and reflection. Does this help clarify how these concepts work together?
Okay, so my final ChatGPT session time is over. So next episode for the A session. So bye bye.